Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and going over the new character Matoi here in pretty much a before you summon or should you summon type little video here. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, geez, I couldn't even speak for a second, you guys. But as always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a lot here. We've been trucking a lot recently, especially when it does come down to views and subscribers. Y'all have been absolutely amazing with all the support. I can't thank you guys enough. Even the Discord has grown exponentially. And if you guys want to be a part of that Discord and part of that community, be sure to check down below in the description. Should be a link called Gotcha Metaverse, in which that is my Discord. I'll keep you guys updated as much as possible when it comes down to P5X, any of the regions, as well as other gotchas, because it is a hangout space at the end of the day as well. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Let's get into the video. So with this in mind here, we're going to be going over pretty much the before you buy or before you summon type deal. Now this banner with Matoi, which is the new ice debuffer, new ice technical debuffer, there we go, I forget that part there. This character will be coming out in less than 5 days. We have 4 days and 9 hours here, which is usually going to be Wednesday at like maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, sometimes 11 EST in the afternoon, and which that is when we're going to get our next character. Now this character, I know a lot of you guys are either pulling for 3 different situations. One, either you need the character for a specific team, which we are going to be going over for those specific teams. 2, you really just like the character in general, or 3, you are a collector. So I'm going to be going over these options. If you just love the character in general and you're a collector, technically you don't have to go over this here, but I will be at least talking to you guys too as well, to tell you guys exactly what's coming up, because there is a lot of stuff that's about to happen and a lot of things in line with this character that might decide to sway your at least decision a little bit. So let's get into it. So with this in mind, of course, we do have the new character, and she is going to be this debuffer. She is a staff user, if I'm correct here, in which we can see the staff right in here. This has already been shown, of course, on the CN version where she has released. Some of you guys don't know who exactly I'm talking about. It's this character on the screen right there. This is Matoi. She is a firefighter, to at least my knowledge here, who did lose her family in a tragic moment here as well. And this character is an absolute amazing character. First of all, the AOA art, it looks amazing as well. And she's just a really cool character to say the least, about. Now, the thing with this character is she is a debuffer. Debuffers, just like supporters, are really, really important in this game. They usually have a very long supportability, especially when it does come down to at least the teams you bring them in. So the viability of what they can be used in is fairly high. We can take this in account of different debuffers, such as let's go ahead and move over. We have Howler, standard character who's absolutely amazing. We have Bino, which is a 4-star character who I still use to this day and who's still in plenty of just overpowered and meta type teams. And then of course we're going to have her, who is another debuffer that's going to be coming out. That is absolutely amazing. I want to say the only debuffer that kind of fell off a little bit early was Rin. She was pretty darn decent for the Forget, and also the what's it called, I think it was a Mumble Soup being her 3rd skill as well. They have that Forget skill as well as taking down defenses. She was very useful for that, but there were other options at the same time. She was like the only debuffer that kind of fell off. But debuffers themselves stick around for quite some time, a hot minute actually, just like the supporters. So seeing that she is a new debuffer, that automatically got a lot of people's attention, and especially seeing that she's an ice debuffer that wields technicals, that got a lot more of people's attentions here. So one of the first things I want to go over here is the team wise here. Now this character is going to specialize in technicals. It's going to be really specialized in a lot of things that are going to help you out with these debuffs, and it's going to allow you to really kind of expand your horizons on different things, such as the technicals that you can use with Rin. So starting with my Rin enjoyers, or at least my Rin Chinese New Year Rin enjoyers here. This character, if you did go for this character, it would probably be in your best interest to get the ice technical debuffer. The reason for this is because Rin, as we do know, works off of different technicals. She has wind technicals, she has fire on fire technicals, and then she has the ice technicals that pair with her fire as well. This in general is already really good to have here, and really does make it so Matoi kind of works perfectly with her, which is always the great part to see. We don't want a character to just be there that just don't work at all. So the fact that this character is coming out and it actually does work alongside her is absolutely amazing. The good part about this is when you do get these ice debuffer here, there's a lot of things I can actually confirm for you guys that is really helpful to decide if you really want to pull for this character. One is she's actually better than Howler to use, which I wouldn't say is too much of a surprise here at the end of the day, because Howler is a standard character, a limited character who usually releases, who is part of the same bracket, can be a little bit better depending on the at least gist here, but the character is actually better for this whole ordeal. You're able to, of course, get off that ice technical, which is always going to help you out, especially when you need to go ahead and get that extra damage. If I'm right, ice on fire technicals do help a decent bit when it comes down to boosting the fire, at least the fire and ice damage. I do know the ice Matoi does deal some decent damage here, but since she's debuffer, you're mainly going to be using for at least helping out your team and debuffing. So the fact that she helps with at least the ice burn technical, it immediately helps with the fire amount of damage that we do need to get off, especially utilizing Ren in your team. If you wanted a fire type at least technical, aka being maybe like the, I forgot what it was called, if it was backdraft or one of those two, but it was something like that, in which if you wanted a fire technical, you could very well just get that off of Wonder if you just go ahead and burn them that way. So it doesn't have to really strain you too much there, but do keep in mind it is an option. Though that ice technical is really going to be very apparent, especially with Matoi here, so it's going to make you want to use her a lot more. That's only for the AoE side. Howler is still the best debuffer, especially when it does come down to the single target side. So if you genuinely are doing this for like a single target match, let's say you need to use single target hits, then Howler's better. But that's not really pertaining to at least Ren's team. That's gonna more or less pertain to other teams that need a single target debuffer. Howler will still be at least the main person in that aspect. So don't just throw Howler all the way fully out of the way. He's still going to be very useful. Now, another good part about Matoi, if you guys are going to be summoning for her, not only is she the only ice debuffer that we do have here, but she is self-sufficient and can actually trigger ice technicals. So technically you don't need any other character to really trigger the ice technicals that she does need. Though it is nice to have the at least burns and things like that that you really do want to pay attention to. If you go ahead and do a lot of this here, it's going to help you out in the long run, and she's really going to at least show her worth when it does come out to that and help you in those type of teams. Seeing that as an ice character can trigger her own technicals as well, that's good because she doesn't have to be more or less enabled, right? She actually already has that self-proficiency or self-sufficiency that she can do herself and does not need anyone to do so, which is always great here. But not only that, is the teams that she also works with actually works pretty darn well with a few other ones here. Now, I haven't gotten to test these teams out myself, but my good old buddy Najox actually ended up testing these out and doing a little bit of theory crafting with them. But Mott Figure Skater here, or at least this Mott right here on my screen, as well as Fox, actually work well into the teams here. They could possibly very well so work. Right now, we're going to be doing more experimenting, especially when it does come down to TW and KR, because at that point in time, we'll be able to actually test out these characters even more so. But from at least theory crafting and things that we've ended up adding up with the numbers and things like that, we're actually able to say that she most likely is going to work well with both Fox and Mont, which could bring them both back no matter how you see it. If anything, you would have Fox and Mont on the same team while also having her as the main debuffer, which is great because then you can run a Mile Ice team. See that your DPS, what's it called? Your DPS navigator is going to be on your first team. This team can actually be utilized with Phoebe because you now have Mono Ice there, absolutely helping you out, and you're getting that huge old buff. So that's always going to be awesome. Another good part here is, luckily for Matoi, just kind of like how other characters need EHR, Matoi herself is actually easy to cap out on her EHR here. Now, EHR, it has a very negative connotation sometimes because of how much you need for Haru, but this isn't the case with Matoi. Matoi is going to have at least a lot more things here that's going to be a lot better to end up enjoying, seeing that she's easy to cap off on that EHR, and you technically don't need too much of it, and it's not due to the weapon, right? The weapon, even without it, you can reach it fairly easy. With the weapon, it just makes it even easier. Seeing, I think he stated, I'm right, Najox stated it was like we need 15% less if you have the weapon. So If you don't have the weapon, you just need 15% more DHR, which really isn't that much. But she also has one of the best 4-stars in the game, in which for me, that's a good one, because seeing that she's not a standard character, if I don't get her weapon, not going to be the end of the day at that point, because I will be getting it out of this little base here. That's going to be fairly helpful for a lot of you guys if you do have the pacing. Get the weapon out of here. The 4-star weapon's actually not too bad, but if I do get it, it's going to be great because I have like a lot of pity built up, but I am on 50-50 here. So if we check it, I'm at 62 out of 70. We will be hitting pity for this. So if I win it, awesome. If I don't win it, well, then we're just going to stick with 4-star and just build it from there. Unless she really is crazy good, then, you know, that's different. But this is mainly for you guys. I'm trying to tell you guys as much as possible for these so you can kind of decide on what you want. But here's the bad thing. A lot of those were good pros and stuff like that. So for the people who really care about that character, absolutely amazing. Those are summon. Yes, those are nice summon things. But here's the bad part. So one of the first things that we need to go over is the timing of this banner. First of all, we do know pretty much Pancake or Akechi is right around the corner, and he should be actually the next banner after this one, in which at that point in time, a lot of us are going to want that character. He is the first almighty character in the game, and that's going to be very huge for us, seeing that it can be really bad or really good. It just depends on the time of the events or the time of the SOSs. Whatever happens, in which that's going to be a major thing inside of this game. An almighty unit is already a huge thing to see, and he's going to be the only one for quite some time. So I think that's going to be a huge deal for a lot of folks, seeing that, of course, it's kind of bad timing. The other problem is, of course, we do have anniversary right around the corner, and that kind of goes the same way with the Akechi situation. That if you're thinking about the anniversary as well, you don't have much time to really save, especially if you keep going back to back with these banners. So it might be wise to go ahead and save for this, especially if you don't have Rin Chinese New Year. Is not really going to help you out too much. And seeing that Howler still can be used with Rin Chinese New Year, at that point in time, I would definitely say that it's semi kind of iffy if you really do need this character or don't need her. Some other bad things is, of course, after doing some testing and after doing some calculating, docs ended up stating that you need 4 stacks to extinguish, well, to use her extinguish and to use her enhanced skill 3. However, you can only get 3 of those in one turn at A6 and only at A0. So this is already a little bit of a problem here, because it's going to come down to at least her rotation is going to be an issue, and then that's going to be a huge problem for all of us who really want to try and get those stacks to utilize that enhanced skill 3. Now the skill 2 here is another bad part about her, seeing that skill 2 itself does not give extinguished stacks, which are vital for her skill 3. If you don't have those extinguished stacks, then you're not going to be able to use that enhanced skill 3, which utterly does just mess up her entire rotation. It's going to make things a lot more complicated and make things a lot harder for you. So for those people who really are thinking about this as well and are thinking about getting to A0 and dipping out, do keep in mind it is going to be kind of hard with the rotations of things. Of course, I'm going to be trying to test it out as much as possible when I possibly can here, but that is all I can really offer to the situation. Should you summon? In my opinion, I state no, especially if you do not have Chinese New Year Rin. With the at least options that we have going around and the things that are going to be coming up, I would suggest not summoning. But at the end of the day, it's you guys' account. I'm not your mother, not your father. Y'all do what you need to do with your accounts. I'm going to get it at the end of the day because, of course, content, that's more things you guys like to see it. So I like to do it. So until then, everybody, thanks for watching. Peace out.